Welcome back to another edition of KFC Radio on the Barstool Sports Network. There is no Kevin this week, so the show will be significantly dumber. What the fuck's up?
Not much.
Jackie saw my sister at a bathroom this weekend.
I did. Well, okay, staying at a bathroom, like random. It was at a club. It was at a bar, and I was really awkward to her. Like, she probably, like,
she said that.
I didn't know.
She said that? She mentioned it.
I just didn't. It didn't like occur to me. Like,
how did you recognize Pabs' sister?
I didn't
No,
recognize
she
her.
recognized Jackie,
And then she was like, "Do I know you from somewhere?" And I was like, "I don't think so. I don't know." And then she was like, "You work for my brother," and I was like, "No, for work."
That's what I go home and say.
You're a fucking bitch.
You work for my brother. I can use some more toilet paper here, please.
she's like, "You work with my brother," and I was like, "Oh, who's your brother?" And she was like, "Mikey," and I was like, and it took me a while because I was like, "Mikey, like Fowler," and I was like, "Oh, like Mikey," and she was like, "Yeah," and then I was like, "Oh my god," like, oh god, I just like, it was seriously like, that night was just socially.
Another bad one.
A bad one, and I always say that.
How many nights do you have good ones?
Yeah, no.
Like, how many nights you get home, right? Lights turn out,
Plus that.
Jackie's tucked in the bed, and you're like, fucking nailed that.
It's very few.
They're
far and few in between, but every once in a
Boy,
while.
that went so well.
Yeah. But yes, I did that. I had such a lovely weekend.
Yeah?
Yeah. I wish I honestly had more to report from it, but it was just like lovely out in Greenport.
Greenport.
That's awesome.
Is that in Brooklyn?
North Fork
No.
of Long Island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Long Island.
Oh.
The end of Long Island. It's not Hamptons, right?
It's not Hamptons. It's north of Hamptons, and it's like slowly becoming like the New Hamptons.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's really nice.
Really, there's New Hamptons every year.
New Hamptons. Well, Montauk became the New Hamptons about like 6-7 years ago, and now they're trying to make like Greenport like the New Hamptons. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. I was just like staying with friends. I kind of thought of it as like a trial run for
Beach house.
beach
A
house.
beach house?
Yeah.
And I kind of was like testing the waters to see if I could stir the pot a little bit.
Dude, I said this to you guys when we did the show in Chicago. Why? Like,
Yeah.
why aren't you, like, again, do whatever the fuck you guys want, but, like, if I was going into that show, my mindset would be like, I'm going to have a fucking blast.
Yeah.
And we're going to have, like, we all, what everyone keeps saying is, like, the negative about this versus other shows is, like, you don't know each other, you don't see each other again. Like, you know,
Yeah.
that's what everyone says about Barstool reality shows is we have to keep working together.
Yeah.
This isn't like Survivor.
Yeah.
This is like, you don't have to fuck each other over. You can
No
just
one
have a
wins.
good time.
I know, but like Tommy's trying to make alliances right now. Every time, like,
It's not Survivor! It's not Survivor!
It's making
It's the Barstool Beach House. There's nothing preventing you from going and be like, yo, guys, let's get fucked up and have a blast. Like, there's nothing stopping you from doing
I know,
that.
but I feel like everyone's kind of like, you know, like if Tommy's gonna start making alliances, like I want to start making alliances. So then like it's starting.
But
to turn
don't
into-
stop making alliances. Do not make any alliances unless you make them with everybody and
We
say,
were-
hey guys, let's have a whole alliance.
Yeah. We were like laughing also because like this whole weekend, like my toenails like falling off, like my like,
Your toenails?
like my giant like toe or my big toe.
Dude, you really hammered that. You know my fucking huge feet.
I said like that, but like my big toenails like falling off, and it's like when the big toenails falls, like the other ones like maybe you get away with it, but like when the big toenails falls off,
You know, I mean, it's a statement piece.
it's seriously a problem. Which also it's like next month is like the 1 month I need that toenail. Whatever, but like just throughout the whole weekend, like I kept talking about my toenail and being like, oh fuck, it's falling off, like because it like kept falling off more and more, and we were just laughing about like. Everyone else at Beach House is like gonna have these storylines like Nikki Smokes is fucking Annika again. My storyline's gonna be like Jackie's toenail. Like,
That's a funny storyline to have, to keep freaking out about your toenails.
like day 2, it's gonna fall off today for sure.
As far as like the concept of the show goes and the way people talk about the show, that's a pretty good fucking controversy to have. Like, it's like every time, dude, that would be again funny. I guess it's not an edit because it goes out in clips, but just like. Everyone freaking out, and Jack, I don't know what to do about this toe.
Do I glue it?
I had a toenail falling off a couple years ago. It takes much longer than you think. For it to
Does
naturally
not
come
have-
off, it's gonna take like years. Yeah.
Oh,
What?
really?
Yeah, like mine, like I saw it coming off, and then probably 4 years later, it actually fell off.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're not. You don't know what I'm dealing with. You don't, you don't have enough faith
Can
in my
we see
toenails.
it?
No.
You have to show the cameras.
Yeah. No, because now I'm kind of like self-conscious about
I've
my like how much I talked about my yeah. Oh, maybe I'll pop it off later. I'm getting a little self-conscious about it.
I've never had a toenail fall off. I don't even know if I've ever seen one like in the process of falling off.
Yeah, it's like every once in a while I'll peek under the hood to see like how bad it is. Sorry.
Dude.
And it's bad. Like everyone, was like trying to console me all weekend, being like, there's definitely like a softer toenail growing in underwards. There's nothing. It's barren. It's barren
So does
land
it just
under
look
there.
like under skin? Like what does it look like under a toenail?
Um,
I've only seen it in like the fungus fighting commercials.
yeah.
It's the only time I've ever seen it.
It looks. I mean, it's better than that. Like
Okay.
it's kind of one of those things where like sometimes if somebody doesn't have like an arm or something, like if you just kind of look at it for like 2 minutes, you're like, it's normal now.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to like really stare at it, and like then I got used to it. I think I can honestly get away with like, it's kind of a smooth surface under there, so I think I could get away with painting. Sorry, I feel like I can't keep grossing. Whenever I gross you out, like I feel disgusting.
Please continue. This is nice to have a role reversal. Usually I'm the one grossing you out.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna watch Beach House, like just get ready for this. This is the whole storyline. Okay, but I think I could get away with just painting on the skin, and then just. Like seriously, always moving on camera. Like just never, or just like if I'm at a beach, like never letting anybody look too close to my toenail. I'm going to be sprinting back and forth the entire time. Like
I know that game as a person with fat lady feet. Like, like I get to the beach, and I'm in the sand.
You're like, guys, let's play the bury me in the sand thing.
Like I'm in the chair. I wiggle my feet in like a snake in the fucking desert, and I'm just fucking porched like that for the rest of the day. I'm not moving. You don't see my feet, but
it's easy to get away with because it's like, I didn't even think about that tactic.
Yeah, it's a good one.
The best.
I've employed it for like 15 years. It works.
Wow. You see, I'm so happy that I talked about this and brought this up.
You could go socks on the beach at all times.
I could go socks on the beach.
I strongly suggest you stick with this whole idea of like painting your skin.
Yeah, I think painting my skin.
That sounds fucking insane. But like, don't worry, I'll just paint my skin. No one will notice, and it's just like a bleeding toe. Yeah. Like Jackie's paint hasn't dried. I don't think it's running down her.
It's just like sheer whole foot's paint.
Don't worry,
it's like it's kind of sweating off a little bit.
It's like the ultimate lipstick on a pig situation.
Yeah.
Like no one's gonna be like, that's not a pig.
Everyone's like, let's jump in the ocean. I'm like, no. Yeah, I so then my second thought was I could get a fake toenail or like a what's it called, like acrylic toenail. Problem, allergic. So
what are you?
What
are you?
Allergic. Allergic. I said it. Allergic.
I thought there was an S. Allergic. I've heard allergics. I was like,
Allergic.
what the fuck does that mean?
I am allergic, so I can either. Again, my situation is break out in hives and deal with like full hives, but good looking toenail. Or painted toenail, kind of mangled, kind of sweating off a little bit at times, always running around or digging my feet, whatever, but no hives.
I'd probably go no hives if it was up to me.
Okay.
I'd probably keep the hives away.
I say socks at all times. And let's say you have to go in the ocean, you just fucking sprint into the ocean.
Okay. Do you think like cloth socks or like they have one time I do actually have a pair of like sand socks.
Yeah, for sure.
They have little sharks on them though, so they're kind of like
those are the ones. There you have it. 50th anniversary of Jaws. Jackie's got shark socks. It all ends up. What? I guess this is kind of the thing where I'm just like I don't know what it looks like. Like you don't expect it to fall off for 2 months. I guess you're saying 4 years
I'll
now.
I'll show you.
But like how quickly do these things happen? Like the show doesn't start for 2 months, right?
Starts in August, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but like. So here's what we're working with. I'll just explain it. It's like, well, wait, now I'm like, can I just see the state? I'll close your eyes. Let me just see the state of my feet to see if they're like presentable. You guys too. Like, I don't want to show them. They're all pale right now. And like,
okay, well,
I don't think I can. I don't feel good about it. Like, I don't want that on camera. I don't feel good about it.
Okay.
But here's what I'm working with. I'll describe it in detail. This is like, okay. The slit is halfway through. So it's like halfway, like if this is the toenail, this is going to be, for audio listeners, I'm so sorry, but just let me take you on a journey. This is the toenail, halfway through, there's a cut, right?
Yeah.
We could have gotten away with just kind of gluing that down. I had waited too long. Now the cut has curved upwards. So now it's like it's like once it takes a sharp turn.
Yeah,
You know how
that's
toenails
what they
go.
say about toenails. Once they take a sharp turn, you're fucked.
Are you
That's
messing around
the
with
old
it?
toenail adage goes. Toenail adage goes.
Are you like trying to get it off? Or are you like? do you
No,
feel-
no, I'm not trying to, but like I will, we probably talked enough about my toenail. How is your guys', what's up with you guys?
But when you said Mikey, that reminded me that I haven't mentioned my trip to Chicago yet.
Oh, okay.
Which I was on the flight and I was made to feel the dumbest I've ever felt.
Okay.
Did I not tell you about this yet?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So I get on the flight to Chicago and I sit next to this guy he just looks like an older dork.
Okay.
Bald guy, glasses, the dork ensemble. And I sit down, and very quickly I can tell he's gonna be a talker. He wants to talk to me, like he just perked up right away. And I sit down, I get settled, and he just looks at me and he goes, "Hi, I'm Michael." And I was like, "What's up, Michael? Nice to meet you, man." And he said, "I'm going to the Fermi Lab in Chicago."
Is he a little slow?
No, please. So wait, so you don't know this at all?
I think I know half of this, but again, I feel like you kind of kept teasing me with the story. And never.
He's certainly not slow. He's not slow by any stretch of the imagination.
When you did that voice and with your face for some reason.
Well, my face usually makes you think that he's gonna be a slow character.
Exactly. So okay.
It is the sadness of me telling stories. Like he's probably embodying a person.
Exactly. That's what was throwing me off. Okay, but smart Michael.
Smart Michael.
Smart Michael, dumb John.
Yeah,
And so Smart Michael's like, "I'm going to the Fermi Lab." And I said, "What's the Fermi Lab?" And he goes, "You don't know what the Fermi Lab is?"
You fucking.
And I went, "No, man, I don't know what that is." And he's like, "Well, it's named after the famous physicist." And I was like, "Fermi?" He goes, "Yes." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. Sorry, I feel like you should have gotten by the fact that I didn't know what it was that I'm not going to have a good list of famous physicists in my head."
Yeah. Is Fermi a physicist that we should all know?
Okay,
good.
That is up to.
Have you heard of the Fermi paradox?
Yeah, okay. I was going to say, it sounds familiar for sure.
That's him.
Yeah.
It's basically like, why have we not met aliens?
Okay.
You two are too smart to be working.
Yeah, Steve was like, "I'm gonna stay quiet. I can explain a lot about Fermi if you want." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool, man. Like, so what are you headed there for?" He's like, "Well, they're turning down their famous collider." And I was like, "Yeah, no, foolish of me to not know that." You're right. So I was like, "So what does a collider do?" And he's like, "Well, a collider uses atoms. It spins them around at incredible rates of speed and splits atoms and creates new matters." And I was like, "Oh, like an Oppenheimer." And he's like, "Exactly." And the more I kind of knew or kind of talked about his shit, he was getting jacked up.
Yeah.
So I was getting jacked up that he was getting jacked up. And we're just we were screaming on the plane.
Well, can I say, by the time I had come around, which was you were the first, and I was probably zone 7 or whatever. You guys were hyped up. Right? You guys were excited to be talking to each other.
I was getting him going, dude. He was so happy to talk about what he wanted to talk about. So I don't know. I imagine he doesn't talk about that a lot with people. So I was like, "All right, so a collider does what?" And he explains the collider to me. And I'm like, "And you know about this, how long have you worked in this industry?" "Well, I've worked in this industry since the 80s. And I was like, "Okay, and what do you do?" He's like, "Well, I'm an engineer, of course." And I was like, "Yeah, again, fucking idiot." Right? And I was like, "And so what do you do? What do you engineer right now?" Well, right now I engineer wires for submarines." And I was like, "Really? What's different about a wire in a submarine?" And he goes on to explain that wires in submarines have to be made of certain materials because the flames can't be toxic, because you can't run from a fire on a submarine. You have to be able to stay and fight it, and if the flames are toxic, they'll knock you out, blah, blah, blah. So it's a very special wire. And I was like, "Wow, how did you think to make these wires for submarines?" He's like, well, I used to make them for offshore oil drillers, mostly in Southeast Asia. And I was like, offshore oil drillers, like Deepwater Horizon. I only have movie references. And he's like, exactly like that. He gets so excited every time. Exactly. And I was like, so you worked on those for a long time? He goes, I did. I have a very, very big background in gasoline. I'm kind of going Clemmer now. And,
I'm loving this one, by the way.
And I was like, so the wires had to be the same on gasoline on those oil drillers. And he's like, that's right. And I was drinking a big water.
Yeah.
And he goes, now let me ask you a question. How much did that water cost? And I went, Michael, I don't even know, man. Like, I don't know, $6, $8. Like, we're at an airport. It's a big water, I'd guess. And he goes, you don't even know. You don't even know how much it costs. And I was like, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I just kind of was thirsty. I bought a water. Yeah. And he goes, but gasoline, they go crazy. Everyone goes crazy the second it gets over $4. And I was like, yeah, you're right about that. And he goes, but do you know what it takes to make gasoline? I said, Michael, I don't know what it takes. He goes, you have to geolocate it in the middle of an ocean. And then you have to slide a $1 billion tanker on top of it, $1 billion machine. Because then you drill the oil out. And then it costs another $1 billion to turn it into gasoline. Because it's a miracle. It's a miracle of science. It costs $4 to get gasoline. And I was like, yeah, you sold me. That's a hell of a fucking argument. Right? And then there was like a bit of a pregnant pause. And he goes, so what are you heading to Chicago for? And I had to explain to him that I was on a 3-man trivia team because one of us is too dumb to do it alone. And he's like, okay. And then we kind of got quiet. And I realized that enough time had passed that like, the conversation was over and I can start fiddling with my TV now. Yeah. And I put on Jason Statham, a working man. and he must be like, so this is what people without brains do. Their entire life. They do dumb sports trivia and they watch Jason Statham movies. Dude, he went, and then we talked more throughout the flight and he was telling me about like, I asked him what he's been up to. I was like, you done anything cool lately, Michael? Yeah. And he goes, well, very out of character for me, but I went to a Star Wars performance at the New York Philharmonic Live Orchestra. And I was like, that sounds fucking awesome. Yeah. And he's like, it was incredible. And he would get so jacked up. He was the man. I fucking love Michael. I hope he had a good trip.
He sounds so sweet.
How old was he?
Not old, but like probably mid-60s, I'd guess. Okay. Mid-60s to mid-70s, something like that.
So he really thought that you were just like... was he looking down upon you when you said that?
No. He couldn't have been nicer, but like obviously I was in my own head about I'm a far inferior brain to this man.
I will say from that one conversation, you kind of clocked everything.
What do you mean?
You remembered everything and like it seems like you understood it a little bit.
Oh fuck no. No, God no.
Yeah. I mean, through movie references.
Dude, my movie references that give me like 10 pulls where like I can get it from here to here. And I was like, yeah, no, he did a little Oppenheimer thing, and then he was up to fucking what was the other movie? Oh, Deepwater Horizon.
Yeah.
He's been around the block.
He was a sweet looking man.
He was great. I really liked him.
I'm kind of at the point of I'm definitely getting dumber. Because I've realized like this job doesn't require much,
it's not that hard.
Not that much. But now I'm at the point of dumb where like I'm as like a recovering not smart by any means, but smarter person. Like I can clock when I'm sounding dumb and when I'm being dumb. Because like there's still a little bit of smart hanging on where I can hear myself sounding dumb, but I can't think of anything smart to say. Mm-hmm. And so then it's just like, it's almost like I need to go full dumb and just like be ignorant to how really dumb airheady I am. And I get that as I'm explaining this, it's probably like, oh, you're already there. Or I need to start like reading some books or something.
I know exactly where you're at.
Yeah.
I don't know what the best step forward is. Learn a lot of movies, because then you can just go, oh, it's like blank. And they're like, because guess what? If they know about one thing, they've seen the movie about that one thing.
Yeah.
So they're excited to be like, yeah, it's exactly like that.
That's a good point. Yeah. Movies isn't really my thing, though, so.
No. So pop culture, no. Yeah, maybe they'll make a lot of reality shows like Smart
Just
Stuff.
Love Island. Just explain everything in Love
Love
Island.
Island, yeah.
Since turning 25, you know how they say brain fully developed.
Yep.
Have you felt any different?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say no, but like honestly, like, I don't think smart like wise.
No, yeah.
But like, I feel like I feel more at peace with life.
Really?
Yeah.
Mid-20s?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry, you're not
Oh,
settled
shit.
in yet.
I kind of was like, got the hang of it. Like, obviously it doesn't
I mean, look,
look
if
like
you
I got the
got
hang of
that,
it.
that's fucking unbelievable. I didn't get that till long after my mid-20s.
No, but like, there's also so much life left. Like, I just keep thinking like my husband could die at 35. Like, I could.
Dude, have I ever
cancer.
told you about the book I read? Like, what's it called? Like 21 Truths About Love. And it's just, it's like a novel told in list form.
Yeah.
So it's a guy who's married to a woman whose husband died.
Okay.
And basically the whole story is told through his to-do list. The whole book, it's just to-do lists.
Yeah.
And you really get it. Like, it's actually a great beach read if someone's looking for something to read this summer, because like you actually can follow the story just through like
I've
his
definitely heard this. Yeah.
to-do lists. But he goes through a phase where like his first thing of the day, his first job, is to accept the fact that he's his wife's second love. Because her first husband died. And I was like, oh my God, that's fucking hard.
Every day you said he does that?
Again, it's only for like a portion of the book because like
Yeah.
his life changes throughout, the to-do list changed throughout. But like he must have been going through a dark period or whatever. And like the first step of every day is like, accept you are your wife's second love. And I was like, oh God.
Oh no. That's a brutal way to start the day. Wait, doesn't he like get cancer at some point and then it's like?
Honestly, I don't really remember.
Yeah.
But that book, what I remember the most is that it was told in list. I don't exactly, and then that one point.
Yeah.
He runs a bookshop. It's good though. I liked it a couple summers ago.
Yeah. No, I fear that there's just so many more things that could go wrong in life. But for right now, I'm like, I like this.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun. But also, like right now is probably the most peaceful. Like I don't have a boyfriend. I don't have like like money. I get like enough where it's not more money, more problems. Like I have a simple
I'm
fucking
not
job.
Diddy yet.
It's just like, oh,
You know what Diddy and Mace said. Luckily, I haven't hit that tax bracket.
yeah, you know what? Maybe I will, and then maybe I become the next Diddy. We already established I'm not into kids.
Did we?
Last
I mean,
yeah.
I believe you.
Yeah.
But what was that?
You had a kid moment. You had a kid moment.
I had a kid.
I think it was like last year.
Did I have a moment where
You had a kid.
thought I was
You
into
were
kids?
like, yeah, I think. Oh, I thought you meant like having kids.
No.
Just banging
I'm wanting to fuck kids.
Oh, wanting to fuck kids.
I was like, I didn't put it. I was like, oh shit. Did I have
We recorded that?
About that.
My brain wasn't fully developed yet. I think I have officially decided like
Yeah.
I'm not a pedophile.
Yeah,
Nice.
That's good.
Yeah, they just like they seriously do not seem alluring to me like at all. The
No.
kids.
I have a running theory that like
Did that just make it sound more like I?
they don't have
Seems like you
riz.
put thought into it. Yeah.
I've had the belief that like pedophile. I don't like using the word pedophile. Like I look at it's actually kind of good following the story I just told. Like on an intellectual level, me and kids get it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like if it wasn't weird for me to just rock with kids, I probably would. Like I remember I was at my nephew's second birthday party, and I just watched all the kids, and I was like, that's exactly what I want to be doing. Like they would just wrestle, stare off into the distance, and eat cake.
Yeah.
I was like, those three things. Like if I goes, that's my shit.
yeah.
Wrestling, staring off distance, cake. Those are my three things. And I was like, these are just kids in my lane right now, and I got to do this dumb shit like pretend to talk to adults. Like, that's what I want to be doing right
Talk
there.
about like oil drilling or whatever.
Yeah.
Luckily for you, the life, once you're an old person, it all comes back around,
Yeah.
and you could get into those. You can't, but you can't really like wrestle as much as you want to.
Can't wrestle. Yeah, the wrestling days they go pretty fast.
You can. You just might like break a hip.
I saw a spider in Chicago. We didn't really wrestle, but we reminisced about it. Where
Oh.
I told him no one's ever filled his shoes.
Wait, what?
He's wrestling. Me and Spider used to wrestle. I had YP
Oh, yeah.
was my wrestling partner for a while, and then Spider was my wrestling partner for a while, and then they moved to Chicago, and I've never had a new wrestling partner.
You also KB for a little bit down in
In New Orleans. Yeah, that was nice.
Have you guys ever wrestled?
Never wrestled.
Never wrestled.
It's not a great matchup.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah, you guys don't really seem like that's your. You guys more like talk about like fashion together.
You guys seem more like you suck each other dick.
You guys are like in love with each other.
There is nothing like getting to a baseball game, especially last minute. It's almost the only way I go to baseball games. Go grab a beer at a bar outside Fenway. Go, you know what? Let's go into the game. Lucky for me, I always use Gametime, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. Gametime makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the app actually go down the closer it gets to showtime. So yeah, you pop in Cask and Flagon, hang out, have a beer. Maybe first inning's coming up. You go, you know what? These beers are hitting right. I want to be inside. Bang, you can go in. You know, I don't even know. Actually, I know what's in town this weekend because I am going. Mulaney, Friday. He's in town. It's Mulaney, Jon Stewart, Pete Davidson. It is going to be an unbelievable show. If you're around, you should absolutely use Gametime to get tickets. You can put those savings back in your pocket and spend them at the ballpark on a hot dog or at the Mulaney show on a hot dog. They sell them there too. A new hat, some good old-fashioned Cracker Jacks. What are you waiting for? I'm going to buy those Mulaney tickets right now with Gametime. Take the guessing out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code KFC for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code KFC for $20 off. Download the Gametime app today. What time is it? Gametime. Who?
Can I tell you about, speaking of Spider, the most random dinner that I, on
Yes.
whatever night, this was going to be one of my things, but this was the dinner, who's the dinner lineup. I seriously do not think I could have picked a more random Barstool crew if I tried. Me, Kirk Minahan, Jeff D. Lowe, Austin, Spider, Tommy, Kelly, me. Kelly Geeks, me.
What did you guys talk about?
Seriously, I don't know. It was one of those things where I was like just trying to jump in. Like I was like in the conversation, like I don't even know what I was talking about, but like it was honestly just gossiping about every coworker ever.
What you described as a Barstool dinner.
Yeah, exactly. It was good. I got some good gossip.
Yeah.
Anything you'd share?
I don't really feel like, blowing up the company. Not really like blow up the company. It wasn't like, everybody here stayed out of it.
Let's say one of us came up, as in for this.
Oh, I got my dogs.
Yeah.
Oh, you think I'm going to talk shit about you guys?
I think you should allow other people to talk shit.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to be like the narc that's like, hey, don't talk about
what I
my
mean,
boss
yeah.
that way.
You could I think staying quiet is a good enough friend. When someone's talking shit about your friend, but it depends on what it is. I think staying quiet's enough.
Yeah.
We actually, okay, wait.
And don't tell me either.
And then don't ever say it. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't need you to defend me, and I don't need to know.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I'm sure many people don't like me. Right? Like, I don't need to know about all of it.
You don't want me to like divert the conversation though?
What are you gonna do?
Sometimes I like to kind of like throw in a compliment to them and then divert it away. They'll talk and be like, wait, great hair though. Oh my God. Anyway, anyways, speaking of hair, the shampoo. But, so I could do that if you would like.
You can do whatever you want. Whatever makes you most comfortable.
Would like a request. I would like you guys to say, don't talk about Jackie that way.
Okay.
Or else it's going to be fucking, and then punch them in the face if they're ever talking shit about me.
No, I would step in if someone was talking shit about you guys.
Wow, thanks. You actually
that.
seriously don't have to. I actually don't. Just don't tell me.
Well, the easy thing, it's
And don't tell
easy
the
to
board.
say because no one would ever talk shit about you guys. You're very likable and nice and work hard.
Oh, thanks. I don't think that's. I don't really know if that's like true. Like, for like me, like, I think I have my moments where I'm like, I would talk shit about me, and that's fair.
I would guess at the
Don't answer
company
that.
you're 0.1 probably of the shit talking list.
Really?
Yeah.
Thanks, but I wouldn't like count on that because like, I'll fuck up. I'll fuck up.
All right.
Anyway.
Dude, but that dinner is actually like part of why I didn't understand anything that happened last week in the sense that like everyone just complained the whole time.
Yeah.
Obviously, Kirk and Dave did on the Unnamed show. They are obviously free to do what they want. They are much more important than I. But like everyone was just like, this sucks. Like, is this your first time ever having to do a 2-day fucking work
Yeah.
trip? Like none of us were there that long. We got in Monday night, Tuesday morning. Most of us were out Thursday afternoon. It was very weird that it was like the. Like, it was like we were fucking going, like we all got drafted and we were going to war. Like, oh, I can't believe we got to play trivia twice.
Like, we could be figuring out submarine wires right now. We should be so grateful.
Fuck. Go to dinner with some friends you don't see in a while and fucking play a little trivia and go home. It's the easiest job in the world.
Yeah. Did you go to the steakhouse? Or what's it called? Was it the first night that was like,
I don't know. I actually don't think I did any dinners.
Oh, okay.
I
was
was
just complaining.
I was just yeah. No, I actually did the thing you could complain where I just sat in a hotel, but I was happy to do that. It's a work trip. You can have work trips.
Yeah. That's a good way to look at it.
But yeah, like any other profession where like you have to go to a conference for 2 days, like no one complains. It was nonstop whining.
Yeah.
Again, Dave and Kirk are very, very different. I'm not talking about them.
Kirk that was my first time ever really like, I think meeting him ever, and nicer in person. Like
he's the best.
I thought he was gonna be so scary.
The first time I ever met Kirk, I was very scared. Too. Yeah, and I told him that it was like it was before KFC Radio live at the Wilbur, and I think he had a podcast at EEI at the time, and I did it. It was like in my car in the EEI parking lot, like, come on, John, like, just be a man, go in there.
Well, I was just like,
intercut with like crying,
like rocking yourself. Yeah, I was kind of like, I mean, I've been on my dumb decline, and I was just like, I feel like he's just gonna like sniff out how dumb I am, like real quick. And then whenever I'd like say something, like I'd be like, that was so dumb, whatever. But he would like give it a genuine answer. Like, he would like look and be like, well, I think this, you know?
Yeah. No, honestly, that's why I said that during the golf shit. I'm like, I don't know why everyone. Again, I understand Kirk has had outlandish moments, but if you just talk to Kirk, he's a normal ass fucking guy. Yeah. He's like become like I said, Hannibal on the internet, where it's like, oh, Kirk can't be.
Yeah.
Fucking normal.
I mean, I've only seen like Survivor stuff and then clips from the internet.
Yeah, like everything is like if you're only. Your entire experience with a person is like 3 clips.
Yeah.
Because even though we work here, I don't think most people who work here consume that much of it. I don't know. Maybe that's not true. There are pockets of people who extraordinarily heavily consume everything. But then like I don't know. I don't think of you guys as people who like consume a ton of Barstool.
No.
So like all you've seen is Kirk's freakouts.
Yeah.
99% of the time, very regular guy.
Yeah. Do you, Una, as like, well, I guess you guys both like. Can like watch a good amount of Barstool stuff. Do you watch less now that you work here? I'm wondering if it's like
I don't think it's been long enough for me to watch less.
Okay.
I could see how I would though, because sometimes I listen to stuff. This is like on a delay.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes I listen to stuff, and if it's someone I've met, it's like weird to hear. Like I mean, obviously I'm not listening to this show because I hear it anyway. But the longer I'm working here, it's definitely less. But I still listen to like Unnamed show because it's kind of like it's like a fun communal thing when everyone like puts it on
it's
their
so
computers.
Fucking weird. You walk through here at 11:30 on a Thursday. Every laptop is on Unnamed. So I want to make sure they're not talking about it. They're gonna get mad. You're not doing fucking work.
It's fun because like stuff will happen and everyone will just like turn and make eye contact at once and then get back to work. It's so fun.
No, I do think it's a little fun time though, but it is weird.
It's very. I actually don't like being here during that hour.
Yeah.
Because it's weird to just walk by. Content sale. It makes sense. Your bosses are essentially having a weekly
a meeting really.
Like it makes sense to why you want to watch it. But I am always like, I want to be away from this.
Yeah.
Fuck. I was just gonna say yes. You will see though. Like, it's weird when you're working here because everything is work. Does that make sense? Like when I 10 years ago when I was doing like a lot more sports stuff, I would watch way less sports than I watched. And now that I do a lot less sports stuff, I watch way more sports stuff because it's like okay, this is my break from work. Like we're doing like a sitcom. I watch very few sitcoms right now. I watch either like dark gritty television or sports. And I think you just like I need a break from work eventually. So
I almost use it as an excuse, like instead of listening to something informative or, doing something productive at home, it's like, oh, if I watch this podcast right now, it's work, so I can do this, and it's like a good thing. It's like I'm learning about something that's going on at work, so I should listen to this.
I get that.
So
that makes sense too.
I like when I was a KFC Radio listener, like I would well, this is kind of like weird to whatever, but like whenever I'd get anxious, it was just like a comfort thing where I would just throw it on, and then like it just became like a comfort thing. But then once I started working for you guys, then it was like work, and then I was like, fuck, I need to edit that.
Now it's an anxiety
So now
thing.
it's like your voices are a little bit like, like I can't watch 1 minute of it. But now it's like not talking to you. But if I hear it on like podcast version, I spike a little bit.
That's that makes perfect sense because your brain flips it into work mode.
Yeah.
Whereas like when I was covering sports and talking sports a lot, and I'd be watching sports, I'd be like, oh, I should do something about this.
Yeah.
Or like I don't even like we've been like sharing a lot of books and stuff and stories and things like that for mascots, and like I've actually stopped it all. I don't read anything anymore because I'm like, once it's out, then I'll read stuff. But now I read stuff and I just only connect it to it, and I'm like, we did this different, or we did that right, or we did that wrong, and it's just not enjoyable. Again, I'm sure I'll be back in a few months, but right now, like a little break from it.
It's like you're comparing yourself almost.
Yeah.
I stopped watching comedy altogether for about 4 months. Like I haven't watched a comedy movie or a TV show since. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just because I think that like one, the work thing, and two, like you're gonna start just using someone else's idea.
Use someone else's idea, or like. That's why I think it's probably why I never I never listened to podcasts, but like I think that's partly that was what it started, but also I just don't really like I don't like passive listening, and I feel like that's like what all podcasts is. Like I like to either sit there and listen or not listen.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm not going to just sit on a couch and listen to a podcast. That would be insane.
My friends this weekend were all talking about like the podcast that they listened to, and it was like they're having like NPR, and I listened to like the so I don't even know the fucking podcast or whatever. And then they're like, what do you listen to? And I was like, what?
I said you had NPR, and that was I was like, I don't even know where you could find another educational podcast.
I can think of one more. NPR and The Daily Show.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll give you that.
Show. Isn't that just
the Daily is the podcast. The Daily Show.
Okay. And then they asked me, and I was like, I changed the subject. I was like, I listened to it out loud. Oh my God, they have tacos here, guys. I like seriously think it was stressed out.
Speaking of podcasts, you said bring a couple things today. One of the things that I brought was if you could start a podcast company with 3 people in history.
Oh.
And it's not for your own enjoyment. It's for strictly profit and numbers. What 3 people in the history of the world would you pick? And I think it's a pretty easy answer. For views wise.
Is Joe Rogan one of them?
No.
Wait, also real quick, have you guys ever seen the Smartlist clip?
No.
Or like any kind of promotion for Smartlist?
But it's the biggest podcast of all time.
It's the biggest podcast of all time. I've never seen, and other than like
they have
that
a
movie.
documentary.
Yeah, that one documentary.
Yeah.
I've never met like outside of my mom. Obviously, at KFC Radio shows, I've met podcast listeners, but like the people, no one ever talks about podcasts.
Smartlist.
But like
podcasts.
Smartlist or like any I don't. Yeah. Obviously, this company I've met people who like listen to Joe Rogan, but like I've never met a Smartlist, never met Rogan. My mom does the Daily. Like the biggest podcast, I think I'm out there a good amount. I've never heard of someone who's like a big listener.
I'm under the assumption that The Toast is the biggest podcast of all time after Kevin went on. It's crazy how many people brought that up to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, girls must just love The Toast.
Yeah.
I think they have a crazy like fan base, like diehards.
They I don't know like what is in the Shit, guys, I should read about. I don't know what's in the water there. What's in the I don't like. There's something. Let me just start over.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Toast is a really good podcast, but it's something about like it's comforting to listen to. It's like quick. It's easy. Like there's something that I wouldn't even say it's like. I mean, they have good takes and everything like that, but there's something that's really, like, everyone who I've ever talked to who listens to it is like, I don't know what it is about it, but, like, I crave it. I crave listening to it.
That's what I got, basically.
Yeah.
Like, they know every single thing. It's
like, I
crazy.
listen to, like, a good amount of podcasts, like, even, and I love Giggly Squad and everything, but, like, and I almost think that, like, I vibe with them more, but I can't listen to them as easily. It requires... it's so much easier to just listen to us. I don't know what it is.
You said it's short? How long is it?
Like an hour. Huh. But yeah. Anyways, okay. 3 podcasters.
Three podcasters.
They have to be podcasters.
No, they don't have to be podcasters. They just have to be humans. Any type of human.
Now, my fear with going too far back in time
Yeah.
is that first episode would do numbers.
Yeah.
But then people would be like, oh, wait, Socrates is an idiot.
Yeah.
I feel like Hitler has to be.
Yeah, the Hitler, Jesus, and Trump were my answers.
Oh, Jesus?
Yeah.
Oh, such...
Jesus is a good one.
Yeah.
Jesus,
Yeah.
obviously, that's a great one.
But that's like, we do have that. Like, we have the Bible.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of followers, though.
Well, yeah. It's still to this day.
I
number one.
don't
He's
know if
had the
Hitler's
best
going to get
podcast-
you the numbers you're looking for.
Really?
I think the H-man comes with quite a dark cloud over him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like...
You want to turn on something to feel good. You don't want to be like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But people also listen to murder podcasts all the time.
Great counter argument.
I think you'd be like even Kanye, who's not Hitler,
Yeah. I guess. Yeah.
has a pretty big stink on him from the Hitler Nazi
Yeah.
stuff. I think
You're right.
Hitler's stink is going to be
Didn't
tough to
think
get
that
over.
the Kanye point's great because a lot of people in the world obviously stopped listening to Kanye West. Yeah.
Yeah, well, think about, first of all, so if we're talking profit, like Hitler, think about him trying to get ads.
Yeah.
That would be a disaster.
That'd be shot to sell.
JFK, if JFK ran it right,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
JFK like did it, like, look, I was president, but I'm not president anymore, so I'll tell you some
Yeah,
stories.
yeah, yeah.
Is that would probably be a pretty good one.
Yeah.
JFK still has like the country in a chokehold.
Yeah,
right?
no.
It's like
Yeah. Because cool guy, like...
Yeah.
cool guy. Is he our last hot president? Obama was handsome.
Yeah. Well,
George Bush was handsome.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Clinton was handsome. Never mind.
Yeah, yeah.
They all were fucking.
I didn't realize how handsome, what's his face? What's his name? California governor?
Reagan.
No.
Oh,
Gavin
governor.
Newsom. I didn't realize how handsome he was.
No, Newsom's very handsome.
Yeah.
Isn't his wife like a playmate or something like that?
Really?
No.
I think so. Yeah. No, Newsom's a good looking guy.
Yeah.
Fuck. This is hard. Jesus on the list. Jesus is number one with a bullet.
Someone who, like, knows a secret. Like, what's a big secret? You know what I mean?
But all these
then
like,
that's, like, that's one and
we're
done.
talking one app. Like I actually
No, but, like, someone who knows a lot of secrets. Like, someone who's in some, like, conspiracy or something like that. That could
Or, like,
explain, like, the
CIA.
government or something.
I
Or,
that
like,
would-
Genghis Khan. I would
think
listen to
that
Genghis
I think we're
Khan.
on the decline of conspiracy culture too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't think
We did that in podcasting like 5-6 years ago.
right.
It
Yeah,
blew
like, we're
up and
already
then went
over
away.
it.
Yeah.
I oddly think that I think like your best bet is the current big guy. Like
Yeah.
I think it's Rogan.
Rogan.
Just because. I feel like to make JFK do a podcast, you have to keep him at gunpoint. He's
Yeah.
like, I want to go fuck Marilyn Monroe. And he's like, no. You got to do a podcast. You got to explain it to him.
What about fictional characters?
that you can go with that. Yeah.
Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's a
wow.
good- yeah.
Great one.
Harry Potter.
Harry and Voldemort on the same one.
Yeah.
Harry Potter. Probably the fucking Lord of the Rings guy.
Mhm.
I don't know. Elijah Wood, whoever he plays. Frodo.
Yeah.
No. Was he Bilbo Baggins or is he Frodo?
He's Bilbo Baggins. You know?
What?
Do you know?
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. I thought you were a Lord of the Rings guy now. Oh.
No, you got glasses, so it's a fair.
So, someone recently told me they were a Lord of the Rings guy in this office.
I
thought it
actually
was
have never
sweet.
done the Lord of the Rings trilogy,
Yeah.
and I really want to. I hear it's unbelievable.
I could see what's the Patrick Bateman like catering to the Andrew Tate like go get 'em culture type thing. Like he's like you gotta wake up every day 6 a.m. But then also it's like he obviously has some like skeletons in his closet.
But
so-
also, Patrick Bateman, like, wasn't. I wouldn't call Patrick Bateman a grind mindset guy.
I actually never watched the movie.
Yeah, like, if you watch the movie, he woke up and worked out. But aside from that, I don't know. Like,
I mean,
he
what
was pretty
else-
busy killing.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think he was jelly dollying too much?
He had a lot of axe play.
I didn't. Wouldn't he like kind of go to work, like wake up?
He was
Work,
the movie
finance
starts
job.
with him like his morning routine, and he exercises, and he talks about how I can do 1,000 now crunches.
Yeah. But that's pretty much all that there is to the grind mindset guys. Like it's kind of just their morning routine and then like chicken and rice at night.
There is it's all of those podcasts you don't have to listen to. It's like 3 things you have to do.
Yeah.
It's like wake up early, exercise, eat healthy. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Get him off the fucking network.
Like you have to hear that every day.
Yeah. I had a smoothie again this morning. I think.
Darth Vader.
Vader kind of going to run into Hitler territory there. Where he's like, yeah, you just got to kill everybody. Yeah, bro, I think I'm gonna go Shane, Rogan, and
Dave Portnoy.
Yeah.
Shane, Rogan, no, because he doesn't like podcasts. Dave's done like 10 podcasts. Shane, Rogan, and
What about like Adam and Eve?
who?
Adam and Eve, were they real?
But then
they also
Jesus could
don't-
just
What
tell
character you put in that? Which category are they going?
Fictional or real? I actually don't know. Were they real? They were
No,
not
they were
real, right?
fictional.
They were fake, yeah.
Well, it depends who you ask, obviously. But I would throw them
Let's
in
go.
that fictional
Let's
category.
put them in fictional with Harry.
Yeah. I would
Harry
say,
Potter, Adam and Eve.
I
And
would
the
say
snake.
with them though, it's kind of similar where it's like, all right, what are you really doing all day? Like the Apple episode, that's a good fight between them. That's a skyrocketing episode. They're like, well, I told you not to fucking eat the apple because she eats the apple. That one does well. Other than that, it's kind of just like, I woke up like I was naked
Looked around a
again.
little
Yeah,
bit.
what that just turned into like a Pornhub podcast.
yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know. We just fucked a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about
We like look at the population of the world. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
The fuck you think it started?
And they're like naked while they do the podcast, so their video
Yeah.
views would probably go way up. But they'd have, again, tough for
Yeah,
ad
it's
sales.
what's the Line of the Plug podcast with Adam 22?
Yeah.
Plug Talk.
Plug
right?
Talk,
Plug
yeah.
Talk. It's Plug Talk. Adam and Eve just have someone else from the Bible on every episode, and then they fuck.
Wasn't it also like just them two? So it's not even like they're fucking other people.
Yeah.
Well, no, that would be the hook. They have to bring in a third every time.
Yeah.
That's what Plug Talk is, right? It's Adam and fucking Lena. And
There was
then-
a snake
I don't think
involved
that-
at some point, right?
yes.
Yeah.
The snake convinced Eve
Yeah.
to eat the apple.
He's the first app, obviously.
Yeah,
When-
first app, yeah. They clear that shit up. But again, like, okay, correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't Adam and Eve, like, they started everything, so it was just them two for a while.
It was just Adam at first.
It was just Adam.
Yeah.
So again, so it's like, it's hard to bring in a third when they're the only two people on Earth.
But I think
Until
they
they, like, have a
lasted.
kid.
I don't actually. I really don't know the
Yeah.
story either. I don't know. I
Yeah,
think
so they had to start, like, fucking their kids.
I think they populated and then I don't know. But I do know when I was a kid, I was away. My whole family went with my dad on some insurance conference, and I told a joke. I don't know. I was young, like a kid telling this joke, and my dad was marching me around the insurance conference, just being like, "Tell him the joke." and I'll tell you
It's
what.
so unfunny when somebody says, tell me.
Tell them the joke. And, like, insurance guys were fucking eating it up. They were. It's very sexist. But it was. Again, I don't know where I would have even heard this joke at my age. Like, I know the trip because we have a family portrait from it, and I'm a kid. I'm a kid telling this joke, and so it's the story of Eden, and Adam was there, and he was really bored, obviously, and he would beg to God every night, like, can I please have someone else, like just someone to talk to, someone to share a life with, and God spoke from the heavens, and he said, Adam, I have an idea. I will get you a partner who will be loving, and caring, and beautiful, and she will cook, and she'll clean, she'll take care of you, and I will have that partner ready for you. It's gonna cost you an arm and a leg to get that partner. And Adam replied, what can I get for a rib? And, the insurance guys were loving
that shit up.
How old are you?
I honestly, it'll be this next week, but I'll send you guys a picture of how old I was.
Yeah.
And because again, we have a family portrait from that trip, and I was sub 10 for sure.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
I
really?
was a child. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's funny. I also didn't even put Adam 22 and Adam.
Yeah,
Adam was
yeah,
the original Adam 22. That's funny.
Adam just covered in tattoos. What's up, guys?
That kind of Adam 22 kind of reminds me of a kind of cute little thought that I had the other day. Like I feel like right now I have like a lot of different like I've been like trying to keep up with like a lot of different friends, but like I'm happy to have like, you know, the opportunity to have a bunch of different friends, but like I'm trying to keep up with everybody, whatever. And like I was kind of like, oh, it's kind of like whack-a-mole where like, oh, I got to text this person, I got to hang with this person, like whatever. But I was like, but it's not like whack-a-mole because it's like, you know, I'm getting more out of it. Like it feels more like whack-a-mole seems like, you know, I'm like hating life, like trying to whack-a-mole, whatever. Like I was like, maybe it's like balancing a lot of plates, like it's kind of like that. But like it's more like fruitful than that. And I was kind of like, it's kind of like a gangbang where it's like, you know, like it's like I'm getting, or not like I'm getting anything out of it, but there's more like, it's not like whack-a-mole. It's like you're getting stuff out of life, you know, like I feel so, you know, like it's a mutual back and forth that I have with these people where it's like I'm jerking one guy off there, like I'm sucking one guy off there.
Jackie's like, I am fulfilled. I'm like,
yeah, it's just like I'm fulfilled. Exactly. Like,
what else could a girl want other than get gangbanged all day every day?
No, I'm not saying like I'm just saying like what it wasn't. I'm not saying that I like enjoy gangbangs, like getting gangbanged. I'm saying like it's like
I didn't think you did.
sorry. I'm saying I feel like the opposite of whack-a-mole is probably gangbang. You know?
Oh yeah, that's how I think of it for sure.
Just
yeah,
like,
well, I guess right because like you're trying to keep them out of holes.
you're trying to get out of holes, and then
gangbang
like,
trying to get
and
them
they're
in
coming
holes.
out, and it's like erupting with everything. And I just feel like it's like we all should be living life like it's a gangbang, like you know, jerk one guy over here, suck one guy over here. Guys, like it's life is so fun.
You know, you saw me. I am gonna start living life like it's a game. I'm gonna jerk this guy off. I'm gonna suck that guy off.
Like you're a little whore. Anyway, so that was just a cute little thought that I have.
Dude, I don't know why I just thought of this, but I do know why. But you said gangbang, and then I pictured. You ever like been on Pornhub and you get like you see a reverse gangbang? It's just all women and one guy.
Oh.
I'm like, that looks like fucking hell. Like, if someone was like, you want to have a reverse gangbang? Me and my 9 girlfriends, like, what are 8 of them going to do? Like, I have one fucking dick here. Yeah. 8 of them just going to sit on the couch and talk. Like,
and that kind of, I feel like, just becomes a dance party where it's like people are kind of just like twerking in the corner. Like
yeah, I don't know. You want to have 2 of your friends fuck in the corner? I guess. Like, I can only do what I can do here.
Yeah.
And there's not much I can do with 8 people.
Yeah.
Or 8 women. I can't do anything with 16 holes and one penis.
Entirely.
That's like the
holes.
autistic kid playing whack-a-mole.
That's whack-a-mole. That's your
He's got the mallet in one hand and he's just banging with the other. You're like, cheating! Yeah. He's cheating!
Okay, so to clarify, live your life as if it is an all-male gangbang.
All-male gangbang.
Anyways, what else you guys want to talk about?
I was going to let that one sit. This is where I would start playing a working man on television. I'd be like, I think we're at the end of that.
Smart Michael is like, I don't know why I'm talking about gangbang.
I was reading an article the other day that fucking had said everything I wanted to say about how we're in post-nude society. It was an article, I think it was in New York Magazine. It was called the Chi-Chi Chat. And it's this woman who, I think it started obviously with good intentions, and I'm sure it still has good intentions. But it's a group chat. Someone's friend, I think, was just feeling down. The writer's friend was like feeling down during the pandemic and just started a group chat and was like, what's up, ladies? Like, let's show our bodies. Let's be proud of our bodies. And the article was interesting in the sense that it was like, it's now that the chat 5 years on now is 250 people deep, I think. You don't obviously don't. The rules are anyone in the chat can invite anyone, and then they are free to share what they want. It can be naked pictures of other people, it can be naked pictures of yourself, whatever. But they're often not sexual. It's just like to get more comfortable with your bodies or whatever. I think it just started as fun, and now it's become this other body positivity thing, as I understand it. And I was like, that's exactly what nudes are nowadays. That's how they feel. That like they feel like they're not meant for this. Does that make sense?
Sorry, explain just one more time. Like they feel.
It just feels like clinical or medical. It doesn't feel like sexy anymore. It's more like, all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, look, if you want to say some stuff with it, we're talking about a horse of a different color. But if it's just like, here's a titty, I'm like, come on.
Yeah, I feel like especially like a a male, just a dick pic like that. It's if you don't have any level of sexiness to it, it does feel like it's just like sending it to your doctor to like see if you have like a wart on it or something. Like it's kind of just like a picture of it, and like unless it's really in video form,
A video, that's a different story again. Like now we're bringing in other motives and other stuff. But if you're just like, here's my ass, I'm like, What am I, 15?
Yeah, you want me to like look at your mole?
Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck am I gonna do with an ass?
Yeah.
You know?
Are you frustrated by this article that you're like, I've been saying this for years?
No. I'm actually, I'm like,
You're
yes,
happy that
they captured what I've been trying to say.
Yeah.
I think I've been saying it poorly, like, fuck two nudes.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I mean. It feels like sexiness is not its main point.
Interesting.
Stetson legend. That's me in this hat. It's you draped in their aroma. Stetson legend is a warm, sexy, addictive, and captivating fragrance for men. Inspired by the American West, Stetson legend is powered by notes of upcycled cedarwood and wild desert sage. The bold and refined fragrance also combines citrus, prickly pear, and black pepper with mesquite and worn leather. God, that smells like a man. And is anchored by a rich base of sandalwood for a lasting, sophisticated finish. The scent embodies modern sophistication and luxury. It was crafted with the same level of care and attention to detail as Stetson's legendary hats and boots. It also has a higher fragrance concentration than a typical men's cologne, which means it lasts a very long time. The bottle looks and feels really expensive. Stetson Legend is packaged in a sleek, curved glass bottle with a hand-applied black gradient that reveals the bottle's signature amber hue. Make a statement, leave your mark, and turn heads with Stetson Legend cologne. Be your own legend. Stetson Legend cologne. God damn. Stetson. What the fuck? Stetson Legend cologne is available at Walmart, in stores, and online for only $39.98. All right, before we get to voicemails, two quick things. One, we are recording this episode today in two different spurts. So when we started recording, I had not seen everybody in the office yet. Now I have, really regretting my wardrobe choice. Bob Fox destroyed me.
Oh, no.
I was digging this outfit. I thought this outfit looked good. I thought it was a nice outfit. Bob Fox saw me and just went Peter Griffin head ass. I'm like, oh yeah, this is exactly Peter Griffin's outfit.
Let me pull up Peter Griffin.
It is. I mean, he's in a long sleeve shirt, but aside from that, I am dressed exactly like Peter Griffin. It reminds me of the time when Nick Durant, I had a green shirt on and brown pants, and Nick Durant went, looking good, Shaggy, where's Scooby? And I went, God, I can never wear this again now.
There was a stint where Pavs dressed strictly as Charlie Brown.
Yeah, I had a Charlie Brown era.
But like when I called you out, you were like, I've only dressed like him a few times.
What's your style? Kind of like depressed cartoon.
Yeah.
It's really what I'm usually going for.
It's Kim Possible is really one that's like, I think that's the one where it's really hard to not look. It's kind of like how like when you like all graphic design is trying not to make a Nazi symbol or a penis.
Yeah.
It's kind of like outfits are just, for some reason everything just looks like Kim Possible.
Kim Possible, really?
Yeah, because it's
Actually-
cargo
it's
pants
just
with like
green
a
pants
yeah.
and a black top,
Yeah.
like, which I don't find myself wearing that much, but you run into it. Every girl's run into it at least twice, but they're like, "Fuck that! I look like impossible."
That's very funny. Yeah. And then the other thing I have, I got to gauge the room. How mad should I be about this situation I'm in right now? So I've talked about my doctor before on here.
Yeah, but I think you have a lot of doctors.
I go to a Chinese doctor.
Oh yeah,
I go to a Chinese doctor on the Upper East Side. I love it with all of my heart. I am the absolute best version of myself at this doctor's office. Like, it is. If you don't know, everyone there is a Chinese woman except me. Like, I'm the receptionist, the patients, the doctors, the nurses. Everyone is a Chinese woman except me. And I don't know how I got there. I don't know who made me that appointment.
Thank you for clarifying, except you.
I've been going there for 2 years, and every time I walk in there, I leave feeling really, really good about myself because they think I am a giant. Every time I go there, it is like Gulliver's Travels. Like they're all up to my sternum, and they are all like, can I do the voice? You know, like if I'm sitting on the doctor's thing, when my doctor walks in, she always just says, "Oh, John, still super jacked," and I don't know, it makes me feel good. Right? And they also, I don't know, I must have gone to see them one time, like while I was maybe before Amsterdam or something like that, because they're always asking about my international comedy
What?
They're like they're just like they think I'm really funny and they think I've done shows.
Yeah.
They're like so they're like still do shows and I'm always like yeah a little bit like whatever I don't know and they're like you still traffic international and I'm like sure I don't fucking know like yeah whatever but they laugh really hard at my jokes like this past time when I went and they were asking me just like what I take on a daily basis and I told them all my medicine and all my pills and stuff and then they're like and that's it. And I was like, oh, God, now that you mention it, I've been doing heroin. And she thought that was the funniest thing ever.
That is really funny.
like she almost collapsed. It was unbelievable. And so, yeah, so I feel good when I go there. They think I'm big and they think I'm funny. Yeah. Perfect. But, so I went last Thursday. Before we were in Chicago. I went last Thursday. Yeah. And we had a busy day at work. We've had shit going on. So like after you go to the doctor, usually you give blood, they run your blood test. Yeah. And I didn't. I think I had a phone call afterwards, whatever. I didn't give blood. So the doctor's office was on Thursday. I did not give blood that day. Friday, just not in the mood. Monday I went to Chicago for the week. Yeah. While I'm in Chicago, I get 3 phone calls from the doctors. And I didn't answer any of them. And I don't even think I remembered to check the voicemails until towards the end of the week. And I checked the voicemails, and they're like, dude, you got a big problem. They're like, your blood is bad. Like, we got to start doing ab scans. We got to do MRIs. We got to do a bunch of shit. Like, again, it was all voicemail, so it wasn't like, you're dying. It was all delivered professionally. But how I heard it was like,
you got a big problem with your blood.
it was like, you're not in a good spot, dude.
Yeah.
I haven't given him blood, so it's not mine. So I called them on Friday, and I was like, hey, so I got your voicemails. I haven't given you any of my blood. So whatever blood you're testing and whatever blood is on my chart is not my blood. Because Thursday when I went, I came right here. Friday I didn't go. Monday I went to Chicago. It could not. I have not given blood in 6 months. And I called them to tell them that. And I was like, yeah, so it's just not my blood. Like, whatever heart you have. And they didn't, I expected, I thought it was going to be funny. Like, I thought they're like, oh, we're fucking dumb. Like, we mixed up these two things. Not a big deal. We'll check your blood when you give it. Yeah. And they were like, no, it says here June 12th you gave it. And I was like, no, I'm telling you I didn't. Yeah. So that's not my blood. And they were like, oh, right, you're sorry. So June 16th you went and you gave blood. And I was like, June 16th, I was in Chicago. Like, that's not my blood. I don't know what you're testing. Has it been my blood the whole time? Yeah. And they called me back today, and like now it's like on the 3rd or 4th call that I have to speak to their like office manager. Now I'm starting to be like, oh, this feels like a big deal, and I don't know whose blood it's been this whole time.
Yeah. So you're worried because they're always telling you that you're healthy.
Yeah.
And you're worried that this time you might be dying.
I don't know. No. My fear isn't of dying or not dying. I'm fine. My fear is of do I have to find a new doctor now.
So is this a language barrier type situation?
I don't think so.
Where it's like it's all fun and games until you actually need.
No, I don't think so because like the people I've spoken to are kind of like I've had one person who pushed back. The woman I just talked to at the phone, this gave me pause. The woman I just called back half hour ago, whatever, and you guys were in a call, and the receptionist was like, "Oh, I know who you are," and I kind of laughed. I was like, "Oh, you know who I am?" But I'm like, "So am I a story? Like, oh, that guy whose blood we always just check a random homeless person's blood every time he comes in. Like, where are you getting the blood from? I know for a fact I haven't given you my blood."
Yeah. Do you think that there's a possibility that they're just kind of flubbing the numbers, or do you think that they've mixed it up with somebody else's?
I think they mixed it up. I think they don't know how they mixed it up, and that's why they're having someone else call me.
Interesting. I don't know how you go about this.
I know. I don't want to change doctors, but if they're not checking my blood, I kind of have to.
I definitely almost went to this doctor. I called one time. I made an appointment, and then they called me, and they were like, "Hey, do you know that we're the Chinese doctor?" And I was like, "What?" And they were like, I was like, "Is that like the name of like?" Yeah, they're like, "Yeah, we're the Chinese doctor." And I was like, Are you like saying that I can't come?" and then they kept saying like the Chinese doctor. So then I was like, "Is it brand named like the Chinese doctor?" Like, and so that, but then I looked it up and it was like a Chinese doctor and like it was at a doctor company. Doctor.
Yeah.
Like, it was all Chinese doctors.
Oh, see, this is not. This is it's part of Northwell Health.
Oh.
But just everyone there is Chinese or Asian.
Yeah. Well, so there's if you want to continue with your Chinese doctor thing, then I got another Chinese doctor.
You do?
Yeah. I mean, they kind of are exclusive. Like they definitely were calling, being like, I ended up switching doctors because they were like, we're the Chinese doctor. But there was definitely a language barrier. But I could tell in their tone, they said, "You're white. We don't want you coming here."
Yeah, they like when I walk in there, it is.
But they love you.
But you can tell that they're like not used to seeing people like me.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So again, like my Chinese doctor gonna be less warm to you, gonna be less welcoming, but can scratch that itch.
See, I got it. This is my problem. I'm so vibes focused. Where like I don't know. Me and this doc got a great vibe. She might not be checking to see if I'm healthy, but
yeah.
I don't know, right? It's more vibes.
I fear that doctors is kind of the one thing where you can't really factor vibes into it. Especially because it seems like they're not that good. Good vibes most likely equals bad doctor.
Yeah.
But I've gotten bad vibes from good doc. I'm sorry. I've gotten good vibes. I've gotten bad vibes from bad doctors.
Yeah. Also, alternative though, not to be racist, but Asian usually.
Good doctor.
Good doctor.
Good doctor.
Yeah.
So now we're at a standstill here,
Dude,
and it evens out.
Did I bring this up on the show? I think I did. I think it was with Giannis. The Chinese exam I saw like a TikTok about or
where it's
reel
like
about.
one decides their whole
It's
life.
like, it just decides your life.
Yeah.
That would suck.
I
bad.
remember like during SATs, somebody would always give that stat, being like, "Well, at least it's not the Chinese exam," and then I'd kind of be like, "I guess."
What age do you take the Chinese?
I think it's like the same. Like with the age we take the SATs.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then like it assigns you your college, your profession, and the rest of your
Really?
life.
I kind of fuck with it. It's like
I do not fuck with it. I've had 20 jobs in the last 10 years.
in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
No, you haven't.
Of course I have.
In the last 10 years.
Yeah.
You've been here for more than 10 years.
Okay, so in the last 15 years.
Okay.
I've had over 20
First of all, I just
jobs.
don't you?
I've had 20 jobs at this company for sure. It's been at this company, but I've done 20 occupations.
Yeah, but that's the whole point is like don't you want, like if somebody could just be like, hey, this is the path that you're going to go on, then you don't have to fuck around with all these jobs.
No, I like all these jobs. I like doing something new next year. I like doing something new. Like, I don't want a job.
First of all, to clarify, you've had the same job for the past 15 years. You don't act like you're like,
But I'm doing
like this job nomad.
Not a job nomad, but we do different things. Like, doing the same thing every day would kill me.
Yeah, okay.
And we do different, like, there was blogging, there was merch making, there's podcasting, I'm not pretending I've had all these different W-2s and different desks.
Okay.
We get to do different stuff. And if I had one job for the rest of my life, I would not enjoy that.
Do you think that the Chinese exam even like has creative, like, is podcasting an option that you can? It's like if you fail it, you just go to Podcaster.
They hand you a copy, a bootleg copy of A Working Man. Like, why don't you go get by a mic? I actually saw Tyler, the Creator, said it was pretty funny where he's like, why the fuck's everyone on a microphone? We need electricians too, man. Yeah, you're probably right, Tyler.
Yeah. I don't hate the idea though of like, I do feel like it's like they were most ambitious when you're 18, and like if that's when, like, I feel like actually
you were most ambitious at 18?
Yeah, I was like
you had the biggest dreams.
I had the biggest dreams, but like I was kind of like I was ready to be an engineer. I applied to.
You coded too, right?
Coding
Tried
engineering. I was gonna be at Tulane. I had a scholarship to Tulane for engineering. Yeah, I forgot to explain that. We could have been, well, I guess I would have missed you. I don't know. Point is, like at 18,
I knew where you were walking, and I was like, I'll let Jackie walk.
And that serves my point. Like I was on track to be an engineer, and now I can't even form a sentence. So
well, I can't either, and I went to Tulane. It wasn't like that.
That's more of a take on Tulane than anything else. But yeah, like I could have used a little bit more direction, and I'm very happy where I ended up.
But that's different than what we're saying, because yours, like, I think what I'm hearing is like at 18 you're your most ambitious, and I think when you have ambition you don't need direction. Like I'm gonna go get it.
Yeah, that's true.
Like I needed direction at 18. I did not need. I don't think I had ambition or direction. I was just like, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah. What did you think you were gonna be again?
I never even thought about it.
Oh really? Oh.
I don't know. My family kind of thought I was gonna be a lawyer, but there's a lot of lawyers and judges and shit. or a judge. But I had no plans.
What did you
I was just
No, I was going to be in the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
That didn't work out.
I mean, I definitely wanted to work for Barstool. Like I didn't know if I wanted to work here, but like it was a website I was obsessed with and loved, and I liked that lane. But I had no ambition. Not even. It wasn't even I didn't have ambition. I was just like, I'm just gonna hang out.
He's been vibes guy.
Yeah, I was just being, and I was like, yeah, I don't know. I did like my college counselors
Work
had
for
to
that Chinese doctor.
dude, my college counselors had to beg me to do admission and like to apply to colleges, and I went to a school where like you didn't not apply to college. Everyone who went to that school went to fucking college.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll get around to it.
Yeah.
But it worked out.
I think you need a doctor, though. You can't. I'm sure that bag was just on the table for a couple weeks, and then they picked it
Oh
up.
Yeah.
God, they called me back as I was talking about it.
You have to get the Chinese doctor on the podcast.
Oh wait, no, this is a 401 number. Never mind.
Oh. Have you guys been getting a bunch of random calls recently? Like spam calls recently?
That's my life. I am always getting spam
No,
calls.
my phone's been a disaster lately, and it's ruining my life. Kind of similar to you. Haven't been getting pictures on your phone, but no, I'm saying like my phone. Like I'll text someone. I saw that I texted them, and then that text will just go to a different person. And like the other day, I asked someone to hang out. Next thing you know, I'm hanging out with someone else.
No way.
And then the other thing that's going on with my phone is like I've tried to change my alarm a million times. This is and it just goes off at random times throughout the day. This is the only alarm that it'll give me, and it's the worst. I can't even find it now. They must have got rid of it. But it's like this sci-fi horror noise that pops up every single day. It's causing. It just happened. It happened during the wedding too. Like I went to a wedding this weekend, just started coming. I just hear this horror noise just popping off in the middle of my phone.
You had a horror noise go up during a wedding?
Noise, yeah. So my phone is just. I've been getting plans with people that I want to hang out with, and horror noises are coming from my phone. So
That's what. Fuck! I had something to say.
Dude, I would. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that underutilized changing somebody's.
this is the noise.
Somebody's. Yeah, I don't know if you can play it technically. Yeah. I knew that.
Imagine this just
That used to be-
6:30 every morning.
My mom's. That's my mom's like text alert.
That's
like,
crazy.
thing, which is really crazy.
Really?
Or she does like full ringtones every time she gets a text. It's goddamn awful. Like she'll be like in text conversation like full alarm.
I always my mom has her thing on too. She just has the regular ding, but just go, you can mute that.
Yeah.
I say it to her every time. You can make that sound.
I used to love going into people's phones and changing shortcuts. And just like every time they tried to use the word like IDK, it just like fuck all caps or something like that. And I don't do that anymore. And also utilizing like changing people's voicemails or not voicemails but ringtones. So we should all get more into that.
I went to the Apple store recently. I still pass this. I went as you guys know, I don't get pictures on my phone.
Yeah.
And I didn't.
This is the air conditioning problem all over again, where it's like, just fix it. Just fix it.
Yes. Well, I went to the Apple store to fix it.
Oh, cool.
So the reason I wasn't getting shit is or at least what I thought I wasn't getting shit. My iCloud was full.
Oh.
And I don't know how to deal with that, so I just went to the Apple store. And
You're still on your parents like.
No, I've been off my parents' plan since I was a kid.
Okay, adult.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I wanted when the iPhone came out, I wanted an iPhone. We were a Verizon family, but iPhone was only on AT&T, and my mom was like, "You can get it, but like you got to get off the family plan, and if you're off the family plan, like you got to pay for it." I was like 17 or 18 or whatever I was, and I was like, "Done, deal." And now my entire family is still on the family plan, and I have paid $150 a month for 20 years.
Really?
One of my worst financial decisions of all time. I work at a company where they'll pay for it as long as I just fill out one little thing, and I won't do that either.
Yeah, I feel that. I would not do that.
But anyway, so I went to the Apple store, and I was like, "Yo, my phone doesn't get pictures," and he was like, "Okay," and I was like, "My iCloud's full." And he's like, that doesn't. And I was like, and by the way, what do I even have an iCloud for? he was like, what? I was like, why do I need an iCloud? Yeah. And he's like, well, to save all your stuff. I was like, but I don't need to save anything. Mm-hmm. And he goes, well, you do need to. I said, no, I don't. I don't need anything saved. I don't want like my text messages saved for eternity. They don't need to be like, once a conversation's, if it can't fit on the phone anymore, it can be lost at the sands of time. I don't need it on my iCloud. I was like, I don't need any of my pictures. I don't need any of my videos. I don't need anything. Like nothing is something that I need forever.
Yeah.
It's just nonsense in my phone. And he's like, okay. And he's like looking at my phone. He's like, no, it's actually not the iCloud. That's not the reason you're getting the pictures. Have you updated your settings? And I was like, I don't know. And he goes, well, do you know how to get to settings? And I was like, yeah, I know how to get to settings, dude. And like, we weren't being dicks, but like, we were kind of laughing. I was like, yeah, I know how to get to settings kind of deal. And then I'm looking through settings and I can't find whatever he told me to go find. And he goes, can I ask you a question? And I said, yeah. He goes, how familiar are you with your phone? And I was like, what are you asking me? He's like, do you know how to use it? And I was like, look, man, I know how to use the phone. Okay, I can
you
use.
Sound like an old guy.
I was like, I know how to use my phone as a phone. I know how to I know what I need from it. And he goes, okay. I'm just saying because like we do have classes upstairs. And he goes, it's usually elderly people, but like you might be able to want to take one through. And I went, you know what, man? I'm going to take my phone and I'm going to get out of here. So I still have my same phone. I've not taken a class, but I do get pictures. Yeah. Because he was right. I hadn't updated my phone. So I updated my phone. So I get pictures now.
That's really funny, though. That's also like an old person responsibility. You know what? I'm just going to leave. I'm just gonna walk out.
I had other stuff I wanted to get there, too.
Yeah.
I went to get a new phone, but I was like, you know what? I need new headphones, and I'll grab like a new charger. And I was like, no, I'm not getting anything. I'll see you later. I know how to use a phone. Thank you very much.
My grandma, like, seriously, when she gets bored, she just goes and, like, picks fights with, like, random workers. Like, she'll just go to Nordstrom and be like, hey, I'm trying to find a dress for my granddaughter's wedding. And they'll be like, well, okay, like, what do you want? And then she's like, well, she's not actually getting married, so I wouldn't know yet. And then they'll be like, but you want, and she'll be like, I don't know what to wear to her wedding. And then she'll tell us about it. Could you believe that? Could you believe what they fucking said to me? I'm like, wait, what?
So your grandmother will go to the mall and pick fights with people?
Yeah, or sometimes they'll be like,
she's
candy.
like 15-year-old me.
Sometimes it's like Trader Joe's. She'll be like, why don't you guys have this? And they'll be like, I don't know, like, I don't pick. And she goes, well, who do I talk to get some, like, caramels here? And then, I don't know, she's kind of like this. She's the best. She's the best.
Well, who do I talk to get some caramel?
Yeah. Anyways, what was I going to say? I also, real quick, I just want to say, I did go to the doctor. I got blood work recently. And I've been having an issue where I have to pee, like, a lot. Like, I, like, can't stop. it's not a UTI. I've already, whatever. But I have to pee. Like, I can't, like, sleep through the night without having to pee, like, 3 times. And I got my blood work back, and sure enough, it said, like, there's a bunch of, like, all the kidney stuff was, like, high, like, in the red. So then I called her, and I was like, hey. She would, like, message me back. She was like, everything looks good. But I was like, hey, like, the kidney stuff, like, looks like it's pretty bad. And also, like, I told you about my pee issues, like, whatever.
I told you about my
And
pee.
she was like, I think it's fine. And then so I was just like, all right, I guess I'll take your word for it. Do I need a second opinion?
No.
She said, I think it's fine, but like the blood work super didn't look fine.
You only get second opinion when it's bad.
What?
You only get second opinion when it's bad.
But it looked bad. She just was like, I think it's fine.
Wait, how do you know what looks bad for kidney levels?
Because it has like a scale of like green to red.
Oh, and red's
you know?
bad.
And then it was way in the red.
That's happened to me before, the same kidney thing where mine looked bad. And I just was like, they'll tell me if it's bad. And I just
Yeah.
left it.
Okay.
I think all that shit, they give it pretty wide berth. Because like every body is different.
Yeah.
Like I know my family, we all have high liver enzymes.
Oh, yeah.
Like-
Same. I do too.
I think everyone I talk to is like, oh yeah, we have those too. Like
Yeah.
I think we should just move the gauge.
Yeah.
Like, all right, here's where the comfortable, safe zone is, but I don't know. All right, Bluechew, guys, you enter the room dick first, right? Chest out, dick out. That's the way the game is. Bluechew isn't just a tablet; it's a cheat code for your crotch. Stronger, harder, longer lasting. Like someone gave your downstairs a pep talk and a gym membership. Bluechew is the original brand offering chewable tablets for better sex. It ain't a supplement; it's an erection resurrection. That's a mouthful, just like your erection. On Bluechew. Guys, this isn't just about performance, it's about the legacy or third legacy. Let's let that one sit for a second. Give her group chat something to talk about. You know when you lay it down, they're talking about how it gets up. Nothing makes you more of a legend than a Blue Chew. Discover your options at bluechew.com. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. As always, get your first month of Blue Chew for free. Just use promo code KFC at checkout and pay $5 for shipping. That's it. Join Blue Chew's mission to upgrade humanity one thrust at a time. Head to bluechew.com for details and safety info. And big thanks to Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast. Una, list us.
You want this before voicemails? Okay, do you guys know what the Pentagon pizza meter is?
No.
Tell me so I can tell you about it that you don't know. You don't know?
I have no idea.
Oh my
I did
God.
see your
Okay.
tweet about it, but I had no idea what you were talking about.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that people see those. Fuck. The Pentagon pizza meter is basically like people have been tracking for a long time, like decades, like the number of pizza orders around the Pentagon, like in Pennsylvania and DC, like just the general area of the Pentagon and White House and stuff. And every single time there's been like a major world thing, like American like event, like us killing Osama or other things like that, the like pizza orders in the area go like skyrocket. And I was like, I'm gonna check this, and I like looked it up, and this was on Friday, and the pizza meter was like breaking, and I was like, I texted my family, go, pizza meter going off, like watch the news tomorrow. And then what happened Saturday? We bombed the country.
Oh.
So I called it from the pizzas.
Oh, wait, that's crazy.
Crazy, right? People need to pay attention to that.
Oh, that's actually. So it's just because late nights, like.
Yeah,
don't know.
it makes
Yeah.
sense. Like, the Pentagon's working late.
Yeah.
They order pizza.
Yeah, but get something else, because then the other Iran could have seen that and been like, fuck the pizza guys. Like,
I'm so dumb. I thought they were having pizza parties.
like to celebrate.
I
like
thought they were
bombs.
celebrating.
This is like the hoodsies have been going crazy.
It's so funny.
But it's weird because it's not just pizza orders to like those buildings, if I have it correct. It's like just in the area. It's like, is there a vibe in the air that people want pizza?
Wait, that's so funny. I wonder if they like legitimately have to like start ordering sushi or something.
Yeah, people were saying, why don't they get salads or something instead?
But also that is a good call on how you got that. The other thing I was thinking about that, we all knew about that pretty well in advance, right?
Us bombing Iran?
Yeah.
Not fucking me.
Well, but no, like I don't mean as like I had inside information or anything like that. But like there was a tweet that was like on Saturday afternoon, maybe. Like I saw it and I dismissed it because it was on Twitter. So I was like, maybe that's real, maybe it's not. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was like there was a tweet like Saturday afternoon or whatever day that the bombers took off, where it was like the tweet said something to the effect of, because you know how we can just see in America every plane that takes off, like how we track private jets and stuff. And it was something to the effect of like 6, I think the number was 6 bombers just took off from blank Air Force base or naval base in Missouri. They are the exact kind of aircraft that would be needed to carry out a mission striking
But that was
Iran.
on Saturday. The tweet was on Saturday because pizza was Friday night.
It was whenever it was before the bombing. Because again, I didn't give it much thought. I just scrolled past it. Like, again, everything I see on Twitter, I just assume is fake.
The B2s.
Yeah, and I was like, all right, like sure. And then the next day, I was like, that tweet was right.
Yeah. Should we be worried about that?
Speak to someone more important than I to figure that one out.
Okay.
I feel like I don't think we should be worried. My political science professor still emails me from college, and he emailed me. He was like, "Oon, I know you were really worried. Like, I guess he remembered I got worried about a war or something, and he emailed me to be like, don't worry. Like, I think we're fine right now." I was like,
oh, that's really sweet. I know. That could have been my professor.
I had a tough one when that news broke, probably because I went like no phone this weekend, do not disturb, and then the only text that I really looked at was my brother texted me, Kevin Durant to the Rockets. Someone came up to me at the wedding I was at. I was like, "You see the news? Pretty crazy." And I was like, "Crazy? I know. I didn't see that one coming." And a couple more sentences went by. I was like, "I just don't see how Katie is gonna fit on the Rockets."
No way.
And then he informed me that we might be at war.
You see, like, because everyone's in Love Island right now, so like some people saw like new bomb, and they were like, "Oh my god, new bombshell!" That's a new bomb. But yeah, all right. Well, somebody let me know when to get worried.
Dude, how funny would it be if you get drafted? Imagine you get drafted.
I wouldn't last one fucking
Pops,
day.
would you get drafted, or would you two get drafted?
He's out. You're out next week.
I'm out next week. Bang. Good
Of
time.
draft?
Yeah, it's 25 and below.
Are
Oh,
you?
so I'm out,
So
yes.
you're prime. But we're girls. They're not doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think women get drafted.
They don't, right?
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't had a draft. Women certainly weren't
Also,
drafted
like,
last time.
if you've
we
like taken
happened.
Advil in the last month, they won't draft you. There's like so many things. Not actually Advil.
Oh, really?
But like I'm on so many meds. Like I'm disqualified from the draft like 20 times over.
Yeah. A part of me would be curious, but I actually know I wouldn't last one day, and like I have a fear of losing a leg, and that's just like I don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk a leg.
Tell that to the general.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'd be like, oh, so you're
you know
crazy.
what? I got this thing about losing a leg. I don't think it's gonna work out
I
for
have
me.
a fear it's my right leg specifically.
I feel like you need your toenails too, probably.
Yeah. Oh my god. My toenail is on my right one. It's like, I don't want to talk about it. I actually, seriously, when I'm editing, I was like, oh my god, I talked about my toenail for, there's straight up 10 minutes. It's a whole 10 minutes.
Una, what else you got?
Hailey Bieber, this is kind of more like pop culture, but had no ring on. She stepped out without her wedding ring, which was kind of crazy. I don't know.
I am personally, I've been a day one, like, they hate each other. I think that they hate each other. I love Hailey Bieber. And I feel like Justin has gone through a rough patch. But, like, everyone who is like, no, they're fine. Like, you all are reading too much into it. I don't think so. I think that they seriously hate each other.
I always think all of this stuff is far too read into by people. But you don't accidentally take your wedding ring.
I think I always agree with you, but this stuff is crazy. Like, he posted, I'm assuming you guys probably saw, like, on Mother's Day, he posted, like, Mother's Day sucks. And it was just like, what? And then on Father's Day, she commented on a post, Father's Day sucks. Yeah. I was like, this is weird. You guys have a newborn baby.
She, like, reposted a TikTok the other day that was, like, a compilation of Justin Bieber being a dick to people, to like paparazzi. And I was like, so you hate him. Just like, you hate him and it's fine. Most people hate their husbands. Like, but just
you're in the majority of anything.
Yeah, seriously, it's perfectly normal.
Last one thing I wrote down. Oh, sorry.
No, you go.
One more thing I wrote down that I just thought was crazy is that Meta AI, according to Zuckerberg, has a billion monthly users, which isn't that like an eighth of the whole world uses Meta AI every month?
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't keep track of the numbers, but Facebook's numbers have been obviously growing for a long time. Like, a billion doesn't shock me. Mm-hmm. I remember seeing Facebook's, like, daily users at, like, 600 million or 700 million, and that's all WhatsApp got everyone in Europe. Mm-hmm. Instagram's got everyone in America, like, and then Facebook's got everyone in India.
But I think they meant not just Meta, like Meta AI stuff, like using, like, generative...
I bet I would.
I think it includes like.
I think that just means anyone using a Meta product. Obviously I don't know,
okay.
but I think that just means. But maybe it means.
I don't know. It said AI. It said like AI users, but they.
But I think like just
trying to make it look more.
The name of the parent company now, I think, is Meta AI. So I think anyone who uses Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook is a user of Meta AI. But again, I'm speculating. I'm not hard on that.
Ben Klein just started a TikTok account where he has AI create videos of aliens cutting space fruit, and it's ASMR, so you can hear like the squishing, and and it's kind of like green hands will just be cutting like, you know, some fruit that looks like it's like from another world, and he's planning on getting really rich from that. And I hope the best for him. So go follow. I think it's Alien Space Hands, Space Fruit, ASMR, or something like that.
I've been thinking about making like an AI ASMR account because of how much I love watching them. And I'm not like an AI consumer usually, but I keep watching. You guys have to all go watch this. Glass fruit AI cutting.
That's what he was saying.
Oh my god, it's so fun to watch, guys.
It's just like glass fruit that's.
Yeah, and like the knife, like the way it's like I've never really gotten ASMR, and like I get it. It's like I'm like, oh, I get like chills when I watch it. I don't know. There's a lot of versions. The lava ones are really good. There's like cutting lava and eating lava, like lava mukbangs now, and it'll just be like a person like eating lava, and I'm like, fuck, I need to try that.
What?
No, I'm gonna send it to you because it's a rabbit hole.
So you will watch an AI person eat lava
Yes.
and be like, that's the dream.
For a while. Yeah.
Hey guys, what's up? First time, long time. I'm just submitting this because there is no way that I just spent 35 minutes inside of my gym trying to figure out what is wrong with my headphones because the May 15th episode is only playing out of my left headphone. Oh. And I was like, what's wrong with my headphones? I reset them, I reconnected them, I took them out, put them back in. And of course, I finally am ready to say, like, oh, they're finally broken. Like, I'm going to have to get some new headphones. And I end up playing the next track, and it works perfectly.
All right, Narc.
And then I tried another headphone, and it's only in the left. What? Did you only drop the left audio track for the May 15th episode? I don't even care if this makes the episode. I don't even care if this makes a show. Like, what's going on here,
screened you.
Yeah, so I just learned this.
So cool. Thank you for sending this directly to my bosses.
Flexing that he knew the words to say left audio track. He's like, did you just drop the left audio?
Yeah, and here's what happens is my computer automatically drops the left audio track, and I forgot to on May 15th, and I got away with it up until now. I think maybe there was like one thing, but yeah, that was one where.
Was that the one?
That was the
one, and then.
It was like Pabs did it perfectly. He like completely helped me out while I was on jury duty. And then I did one thing. Like I just touched the podcast and of course it fucked up. And like again, thanks for bringing this up. I got away with it. Sorry about the May 15th episode. My computer has some weird glitch where it only exports on one audio track. And that's what you heard. But I replaced it before 9 a.m. So if you probably listened to it before 9 a.m. And if you didn't, then you got a good audio. I would like to formally apologize for the May 15th episode. Yeah. It's okay. Steve's going to take over the podcast edit soon. You won't have that option anyway.
Hey guys, second time caller. I called back in October maybe of last year. So it's kind of a little update. I was the guy that won the $200,000 on that random Sunday playing DraftKings. I called in to ask you guys if I should tell people or not. Well, you guys did that for me. So sure enough, about an hour after you guys posted the video on Instagram and Twitter, my phones are blowing up from friends, coworkers, family members, all that stuff, finding out that I won the money, which actually was awesome because they found out that I won the money through a video of me saying that I'm not going to tell them that I won the money. So it was great. People are very happy for me. People at work loved it. I ended up getting promoted. Not because of that per se, but it probably helps a little bit. Good networking. I had a lot of random people, some VPs at this very large company I work at, like come up to me and be like, "Oh my God, you're the DraftKings guy." So I've kind of great networking from there. I had one guy take me out to go play golf to talk about strategies on that. So all that worked out pretty well and probably has enhanced my career a little bit in a weird way. What else did I do with what I do with the money? So I did a lot of traveling. I went to Costa Rica, kind of splurged a little bit there. Went to Europe 2 different times. I bought an engagement ring and proposed to my girlfriend, now fiance, in Switzerland.
Fucking right.
Hell yeah.
I did all that. I had to write a big check to the government. So they didn't withhold any taxes when I got the money. So I had to set aside some money, which I did, into a high yield savings account. And then come April, I had to write a $65,000 check to the government. Like, what did they do to help me win that money? That was not fun. So did that, and then I used the remaining money left over to help pay for grad school. So I got my company paying for some of it, and I now have DraftKings paying for the rest of it. So I'm going at night a couple days a week and doing that. So overall, I got a lot of hate for this, but no, it did not change my life. It just kind of enhanced it a bit, and helped me do a couple cool things. So. But yeah, I'm still just living my normal middle America, white collar job life, and it's all been really good. So thanks guys for outing me. And I still play DraftKings almost every day because I'm just waiting for the next one, Maybe I can pay for my honeymoon or something like that. So awesome. So thanks all again, and we'll talk soon.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
That, dude, that is exactly what you should do if you have an influx of cash. Go on vacation, do something important for your life.
Yeah.
He used every dollar perfectly, I think.
I also think I always try. Obviously, our callers when we call in, we use their face and stuff like that. But like, personally, I always try and keep names, everything out, just because like I still feel like Barstool and KFC Radio has like this negativity attached to it, where it's like, oh, if you same thing you guys are talking about, where you're like, I don't tell my friends they listen to the podcast, or like, I don't know, I just think like people do not want to be on Barstool.
Yeah.
And so I always try and keep people off. But I guess there are good things that can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would. I'm not gonna change the way I go about things, but like I'm always like don't I don't post my friends. I don't like do stuff like that because I'm like you're just gonna get in trouble at work or something like that. And I guess times they are changing.
Hell yeah, he seems. It's like the we made the right person rich type, or like famous type thing. It's like I feel like he was in the the lottery.
Shout out
made
Pick in
the right
Switzerland
person
too.
Rich.
Yeah.
Not. With this complexion, I'm guessing there was a popover in Dublin. But like, I like Switzerland's a fucking wild choice. I like that. Marty and Rhea just went on their honeymoon too, so maybe Switzerland's popping off at the moment. Podcast
awesome.
over?
Huh? Great way to
Podcast
end
over.
it. Yeah.
Podcast over.
I like
Podcast over.
I like ending it. Podcast over.
Podcast over.
Like and subscribe. Yeah.
Like and subscribe. Podcast over.
Podcast over. Cool. Ads.
Podcast not over. Podcast 20 more minutes.
All right, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment below. Click that button.
Or I'll cut off my finger.